When we graduated from high school, me, Rachel, and Mike couldn't get out of town quick enough. While they seemed to be adjusting okay, I never felt like I belonged at this university. I won't name the university for obvious reasons. It was supposed to be the epitome of higher education, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was a fraud. I had worked hard in high school to get accepted, but once I arrived, I realized that everyone around me was smarter, wealthier, and more well-connected than I was. So when I was approached by a member of the Phoenix Society, a secret organization that supposedly had ties to the university's most successful alumni, I jumped at the chance to join. My two best friends, Rachel and Michael, were equally excited. We had always felt like outsiders, and we thought that this could be our ticket to acceptance. But there was an initiation ritual that was supposed to be a test of our loyalty and bravery. We were a bit hesitant, but since it was such a great opportunity, we decided to try. We were blindfolded and taken to a deserted place in the middle of nowhere, where we were left alone with only a flashlight and a set of instructions. We had to navigate through a series of underground tunnels and chambers which we had no idea even existed here, facing challenges at every turn. We arrived at the designated meeting spot, a nondescript alleyway on the outskirts of campus, as instructed. There was no one else around, and the only sound was the distant hum of traffic. After a few minutes of waiting, a figure emerged from the shadows. "Welcome," the figure said, in a low voice that seemed to echo off the walls. "Are you ready to begin?" We nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Very well. Please put on these blindfolds," the figure instructed, handing each of us a piece of cloth. Once we were blindfolded, we were led down a series of winding streets and alleys until we eventually arrived at our destination. The air was cooler here, and we could smell dampness and mustiness. "You will now be tested," the figure said. "Are you prepared?" We nodded again, feeling our hearts race. "Good. You must navigate through a series of underground tunnels and chambers. There will be challenges at every turn. You may use your flashlight, but you must follow the instructions carefully. And remember, failure is not an option." With that, the figure disappeared, and we were left alone in the darkness. We tentatively switched on our flashlights and began to make our way forward. The tunnels were narrow and claustrophobic, and the air was thick with the scent of mold and decay. We stumbled over rocks and debris, our hearts pounding with every step. As we progressed, the challenges grew more difficult. We had to solve puzzles and riddles, navigate through mazes, and even face physical challenges like crawling through narrow pipes or climbing up walls. All the while, we were aware that we were being watched, evaluated. Hours passed, and we were exhausted, both mentally and physically. But we were determined to see it through. Finally, we emerged from the final chamber, blinking in the light of day. The figure was waiting for us, and as our eyes adjusted to the light, we could see that it was a familiar face, one of our professors, who had always been something of an enigma. "Congratulations," the professor said, smiling. "You have passed the initiation. Welcome to the Phoenix Society." We felt a sense of relief and pride wash over us as we realized that we had been accepted into the inner circle of one of the most prestigious secret societies at the university. We knew that our lives would never be the same again. As a new member of the Phoenix Society, I was initially excited to be part of such an exclusive group. But as I attended more meetings and events, I began to realize that the society was involved in some shady and unethical activities. Rumors of drug trafficking or money laundering. While using their influence to cover up criminal activities committed by members, circulated among the members, and I couldn't ignore them any longer. I never thought I'd be doing something like this. Breaking into a senior member's dorm room? It felt like something out of a bad movie. But I had to do it. I had to find evidence of the Phoenix Society's illegal activities. I had been hearing rumors for weeks, and I knew that something was going on. Every time I attended a meeting or event, I could feel the tension in the air. It was like everyone was on edge, waiting for something to happen. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I made my way to the senior members' dorm building. I had scouted out the location earlier, so I knew exactly which room I needed to target. I slipped on a pair of black gloves. I had never done anything like this before, but I was determined to see it through. The room was dark, but I could see the faint glow of a laptop screen on the desk. I crossed the room in a few quick strides and scooped up the laptop, tucking it under my arm. Just as I was about to leave, I heard a noise outside the door. My heart started racing as I realized that I might be caught. But I didn't have time to hesitate. I slipped out the window and scrambled down the fire escape, my heart pounding in my chest. Once I was safely away, I flipped open the laptop and started searching for evidence of the Phoenix Society's illegal activities. And it didn't take long to find it. There were files and documents detailing everything from drug trafficking to money laundering, and it was clear that the society was using its influence to cover up criminal activities committed by its members. I knew that I had to act fast. I made copies of the files and sent them to a journalist friend of mine, along with a letter detailing everything I knew about the Phoenix Society's activities. I didn't know what would happen next, but I knew that I had done the right thing. The truth had to come out, no matter what the consequences. I decided to gather evidence to expose the truth about the society with the help of Rachel and Michael. It wasn't easy, but we managed to get our hands on incriminating documents and recordings that confirmed our suspicions. When we confronted the society with our evidence, they didn't take it well. They threatened us, warning that we were playing a dangerous game and that we should back off. But we refused to be intimidated. One night, as I was leaving the society's headquarters, I was attacked by a group of masked men. They beat me and left me for dead in an alleyway. But I wasn't ready to give up. I knew that the society would do anything to silence me, so I had to find a way to escape their grasp. With my injuries still fresh, I managed to sneak into their building and gather some more evidence. Then I came up with an ingenious plan and disappeared from the city, using a new identity to avoid detection. I sent the evidence to the authorities and waited for the fallout. It wasn't long before the society was exposed and dismantled. Many of its members were arrested and brought to justice for their crimes. Looking back, I can't believe that I was ever a part of such a corrupt organization. But I'm glad that I had the courage to stand up for what's right and put an end to their illegal activities. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it in the end. As I pack my bags and say goodbye to everything and everyone I've ever known, I can't help but feel a sense of unease wash over me. It's not just the sadness of leaving behind my loved ones, but the fear of the unknown that lies ahead. I've made the decision to disappear, to cut ties with society and start a new life in a new location. My safety is at risk, and I can't take any chances. The members of the society are too powerful, too dangerous. I've changed my name, my appearance, everything that could potentially lead them to me. I don't want to be found. I don't want to be hurt. As I board the plane, I can feel my heart racing with anticipation and anxiety. What will my new life be like? Will I ever be able to truly escape the society's grasp? But despite these doubts and fears, I know that I have to take this chance. I have to start over and leave behind everything that wants to find me. And so, as the plane takes off and I leave behind the world I once knew, I begin a new chapter in my life, one filled with uncertainty but also hope. I may have disappeared from society, but I have not disappeared from myself. And that is all that matters.